Welcome to Let's Talk Chiropractic. I'll be your host, Dr. Alex, and I'm here with Judy. We have a wonderful story. Judy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised down in Delaware County by Philadelphia, by the Philadelphia airport, and moved up here about 20 years ago because I loved the mountains, and been here ever since.
Yeah, and today's a special show. I've never shown the protocol that we do for Judy, so stay tuned, come back. We'll be right here. Welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. I'm your host, Dr. Alex, and we're here again with Judy. So Judy,
Yes.
you came in, when did this all start? When did you first come in to see me?
I think it was a year in May I started coming in.
Yeah, time kind of flies on that, huh?
Yes.
So what was that, why did you come in that first time? What was the thing that drew you into the practice?
I just had never been to a chiropractor before and had lots of aches and pains, and my sister down in Delaware County recommended that I go see a chiropractor, and that's how we met.
Yeah, I think I remember that first appointment. Ed was there with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he was kind of the focus of the show, and then you were almost a side thought, right?
Right.
And then it's funny how time goes on, you're the one who keeps coming back.
I come back about once a week.
And Ed comes when it hurts enough.
Exactly.
So, when we first started, your hips were a concern, right?
Right. They were way up.
We got that straightened out. And as we went along, we started learning more things about you, right?
Yeah.
We started learning about your ankles.
My ankles.
Yeah, your
Bad
knees, your
ankles.
neck. I remember there was a few things, right?
Yes.
And I think that's a special part of your care is that protocol we do for the ankles.
Yeah. Well, I worked so many years on my feet that my arches have fallen. And so I have to wear lifts, the orthopedic lifts in my shoes, any shoe I wear. But my ankles are really in bad shape. So every time I come and you adjust my ankles, I walk out of here feeling like a new person.
I appreciate it.
I love it.
Yeah, and that was, I took a protocol which was tried and proven,
Right.
and I combined it with a couple other things, and we ended up getting to a nice spot for you that's, personalized care for you that, and I've, since that was more early in my career here,
Right.
I've kind of expanded that to other patients. You can make this personalized sort of approach. It's really fun. So I'm curious, just to put this, like the picture out there of what did it look like? What does it look like when your feet are doing poorly? So how long can you last on your feet?
Well,
Let's say when you're not getting treated as much.
When I'm on my feet, just being on my feet, my ankles start swelling, and I have that knot on this side.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, I sprained my ankles years ago, and I think once you sprain an ankle, it stays with you forever. And when I come in here and you do your magic, it adjusts them so I can walk like normal again. Sometimes I'm limping.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use Ed's cane, and
Right.
Because of the pressure on my ankles.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good.
No.
Yeah, and that's an important thing too. When you have your quality of life is you want to be able to get around.
Right.
And you guys do a lot of traveling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you like to go to Wildwood and have a little fun.
Atlantic City.
Yeah, so I can imagine when you're walking around, going on the boardwalk and stuff, it is a pain if you can't get around.
Usually I'm on the tram car.
Oh, on the tram car, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't walk those boardwalks.
That is
And
long.
it's amazing how you see all these people in flat flip-flops. How I always wonder how people can walk around and not be worse than me.
Well, you're right that those sprains kind of chase you around. So you
Right.
sprained your ankles when you were younger.
But I don't know, are you better off on the tram car that goes over the boards and kills your back? Boom, boom, boom.
True, then your hips are out. Yeah, that's not
Or
a
are you
bad
better
point.
off walking? But
No, that's not a bad
I'm a
point.
tram car person.
Yeah, and I can understand that with the ankles that you're dealing with. Yeah,
And my grandson loves that.
yeah, there you go.
Riding
That's
the
not
tram.
bad. And Ed, I assume too would. Probably,
He's on the jazzy.
He's on the jazz. Okay.
And when
Yeah, that
he's not
works out.
using it, I'm out there on it.
Yeah, okay, very cool. And I know that with your particular problems, it is kind of hard to get you really far away between treatments. I mean time.
Yeah.
So with you, if we push you out for a whole month, 2 months,
Yeah.
it starts to get pretty bad.
Oh yeah, that's why I like to come once a week or every other week.
And there's a preventative message in there. So this is a good message for people who are younger and are dealing with these problems when they're not that bad. Because if you let it chase you down a while, it's hard to get long lasting. So you're kind of, it's almost like you're stuck on a yo-yo. We fix it, we put it back together, but there's already so much damage there.
Right.
It kind of falls apart a little bit and you have to come back. I don't know what we're doing usually, 3 weeks or so?
Oh, we usually do once a week or every other week.
Every other week?
I'd recommend to anybody who works on their feet, like nurses and waitresses, and if I would have known this many moons ago, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation, but about like 30 some years ago, I sprained my ankles, and
Yeah.
it wasn't fun. And
And they just healed on their own, kind of.
well, I think so. And then plus I had somebody dancing at a wedding come down on the top of my foot. A man, no offense to any man, but you know, as you're dancing, the pressure, you know, with the heel of his shoe.
Was he dancing with you?
No, he was just, you know, dancing at the wedding and just came down on the top of my foot. And I always swore like maybe I had broken bones in there because
Dang.
it was very painful.
All right, well,
My
that's...
dance was over after that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so.
All right, so we have an idea of the package, what you're dealing with on a daily basis, the kind of what we have to worry about for your case, the time between treatments, what your ankles have gone through. Come back, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the actual treatment looks like and what it's like to get care. Is it safe? Is it gentle? And things like that. So go ahead, take a quick pizza break, get a drink, and we'll be right back in a short break. Welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. We're here talking with Judy Minnick. She's been coming to see me for about a year. She has a little bit of a unique case. We're dealing with a lot of different things. So, Judy, we talked about in the last segment what's going on, what kind of aches and pains you've had to deal, and why those aches and pains are there, whether it's being stepped on while dancing at a wedding or spraining ankles for a long time and letting it kind of get bad over time. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like to get treated. So, first thing I'd like to ask is the unique part of this case from what I've shown on previous shows. That arthrostim, that gun. So I use that on a lot of different parts of your body. Right. I use it on your shoulders and the ankles.
Right.
So could you describe it? Is it too much of a challenge to try and describe what that gun is like? Is it rough?
No, it's not too rough. I mean, it does take away the pain, you know. It's like just a hard vibration on your, you know, but you need it. I need it, you know, and it seems to take the pains away. Yeah.
I sometimes like to call it the woodpecker.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like that.
Yeah. It's just I don't want to say a stun gun because you're not stunning me, but it's just like, you know, but it feels good after it's done, you know.
And I look forward to being able to show that later on this show, so stay tuned for that. We also adjust you. I do have to adjust your hips. I do have to adjust your back. I do have to adjust your neck. So can you talk a little bit about what it's like to get that full spinal adjustment? Do you get sore from it?
Oh, absolutely not.
Does it hurt when I do it?
No, I feel like a new person when I come in here. I'm like, oh yes, I'm going to see Dr. Alex, and then when I'm leaving, I'm like, I can walk again. I can, you know, I'm not in pain anymore, you know. So till
and
next
that makes
week.
My day, by the way.
Right.
Whenever
Till
patients,
week,
they feel great afterwards.
But
hopefully 2 weeks.
Right. Oh yeah, but sometimes, especially with the ankles, you know.
I know.
But this has been 2 weeks because we were both away. But I just, like I said, I feel like a new person when I walk out of here.
Right.
And pain, it's completely pain free, but I feel like I can walk better when I leave. I'm not saying the swelling goes down instantly, but with the ankles and the gun and how you do the massaging of my ankles, it's amazing and feels good, and I appreciate it. But
Now, because you're doing this show, you're going to be able to get a free massage.
oh, yes,
Have you ever had a massage here before?
I did last year.
Okay, yeah.
My sister surprised me with a 1-hour massage.
1 hour massage?
Yeah.
Was it nice?
Oh, it was delightful.
So we're looking forward to the next one?
I don't think I think I had one before, but that was like 20 years ago. But yeah.
One just last year. Birthday present, right?
Right. This will be this year's birthday present.
This year's birthday. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Did we have the same birthday, or is just really close?
Very close.
All right, we're both July birthdays. So
Yes.
that's how I know when
Late
her
July.
birthday's coming up. That's right.
And I know when yours is.
That's right. There you go. Perfect.
But I'm a little older.
And we got the same color shirt, though, so it's fine. Anyway, so you had the massage before.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that whenever you're talking about a place that does massages, they want to know that it's legit, right?
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you get shady massage places. So I want you to, since you've been here once, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Right, so since you've been here once, I want you to be able to reassure people that this place, we have professional, legitimate
definitely.
massage therapists.
Definitely professional. Everything's clean, and you know, and they just take their time and make you feel totally better. You know, like
Right. And you could take off however much garments you
Right.
want, right? So if you come in, you want a full body, you can go down to your undergarments, and then they put a towel over you, right?
towel
Or
and a sheet,
yeah.
right? Yeah, and it just feels so nice.
Right, yeah.
I feel like another new person when you walk out.
That's how we got her in to do the show. We offered her the free massage. That's the trick.
No, you know,
I do appreciate you coming on the show, though.
no problem.
Right. So it's almost a strange thing to add into the ankle therapy, though. But I get excited that I get to use a protocol called Charette protocol on your ankles. That little massage thing I'm doing, I'm actually moving all the little bones. And there's this part where I'm cranking on your heel. And I
Right.
remember with your heels, they were grinding like crazy.
And it's I'm amazed when you do that you can feel the bones in my feet. Because like the last time I came, I believe I'd done my gardening right before we left on vacation. Well, last night I did the mulch. And
That's
so
tough.
I've been having like this like ping in my back, but it's been there for, I think, since probably riding the tram car.
Yeah.
But
so you're ready for the adjustment.
and then
then, huh?
so then when you're bending over and you're doing this and making sure everything's right in the garden, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Those repetitive movements, I do see it around times when we're mulching and gardening and weeding. Everybody's back goes on. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I even discussed getting plastic flowers for next year.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Then you don't have to worry about it. And maybe put down.
I said, let's go to the dollar store, get some plastic flowers so I don't have to keep digging.
And my uncle used to put down under his mulch a nice thick tarp so he didn't have to weed.
Yeah,
But, I mean, they get through eventually. But for a year at least, it'd
Right.
be pretty good.
yeah, I didn't do that part.
Anyway, the next part of the show is the part I'm most excited for, and hopefully you are
Oh,
too,
yes.
where we'll show
I'm
you
so ready.
what is it like to treat Judy.
Okay.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. I'm Dr. Alex Pearly. This is Judy, the wonderful Judy Minnick. She has issues from ankles to hips to her back to her neck to her shoulders. Her therapy includes use of different tools that I don't usually get to show on this show. So this is a great opportunity for us, and it's a good opportunity for Judy because she's getting her treatment a half day earlier than she would usually get it.
Yes.
First this is a high-low table. What's nice about this table is even if you were barely able to walk, you can't get down on a table, we can put you standing on this and bring it down using our hydraulics. We can also use these drop pieces so I don't have to aggressively crack her hips into place. I can just use the table to drop away and move it into that gap. So Judy will go up on the table. Now this table also is a little tall for Judy. Normally she'd be on the smaller table, but that one's under repairs right now. So let's see how we do. We'll go up on our tippy toes. Yeah, it's a little,
right.
it's a little tall.
And I'm a little short.
Just a little, it's double entendre, right? Little short. Anyway, yeah, just see if we can comfortably at least scoot up. So since she had to scoot, it does mess with the pelvis a little bit. I'm going to pull on her knees to make sure I get a good measurement. When I bring these legs up, it's not very much, and it's harder to tell with socks, but she is just a touch off. This is easier to see. You can see this one is shorter than this one by about a 1/4 inch. When I bring it up, it disappears though. Those look fairly even, if not, this one's a little taller, which tells me that this hip is twisted today.
Yes.
That's pretty typical for us. I don't have your chart in front of you, but that's pretty typical for you?
Yes.
And it's this left hip that's twisted?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll untwist that using that drop piece I was talking about. This is the most important part of the adjustment of the spine, and it's the simplest looking, the least dramatic. No bells and whistles, but first-time patients often get sore. I just push it, untwist it. I have to push this one up a little bit because it did come forward just a little bit. And we give it 3 good pushes. That's a research-indicated thing to do. Although I felt it move on the first one. It probably didn't move too much on the other 2, but we follow the research. We're not just doctors, we follow science. Now it's nice and even. I can feel there's no pull, no switch. Even leg lengths, even hips. That's the formula. All right, Judy, do me a favor and breathe in and breathe out. When I do this breathe in and breathe out bit, it'll protect her hips from my push and so that I don't punch the air out of her. Go ahead and breathe in again and out. Now for Judy, I don't have to push very hard because my big goal has already been accomplished in her hips. We did get a little bit of noise there, and I can feel over here we've got a lot of tightness. Now is this shoulder worse than this one today, or what are we doing?
I believe so.
Yeah, you believe so? Yeah, because there's more tightness on this side than I'm used to seeing for Judy. So we'll get to the good stuff now. We'll pick her up. Let's see if you slide down a little bit. Not too bad?
No.
First, we'll flip you around and we'll check the neck. Normally we adjust your neck. Yeah, just making sure. No surprises today, right, Judy?
No surprises.
All right, we'll lean against it for the roller coaster ride.
Okay.
I know. All right. We haven't even gotten to our arthrostim yet and the ankle protocol, but we have to take care of the spine first. As chiropractors, spine is our major priority. Everything else is secondary because we know that highway of nerves helps take care of her whole body. Now her neck's not crazy on the bottom. There's a little one there, so we'll give it a little adjustment. Just like that. Not too bad?
No, but I heard that.
Yeah. Well, the neck's thinner, right? It's not as much tissue, so you hear louder noises. That top one's fine. I'm not going to force it. Okay. The bottom one, bigger misalignment. We put it in place. Kind of makes a big noise. Top one, not a big deal. We leave it alone. I'm not going to fight it if it's not a problem, right?
Right.
Okay, let's pick it up. We're going to get over to that shoulder. We'll hit it with the arthrostim. See if we can loosen it up a little bit. So we'll sit here. You can face away for now. I think yeah, that's good. Yeah, good. All right, I'm going to start on the left shoulder because that's the less severe of the two. So this is my arthrostim. It pushes against me as hard as I push against it. So it can be very light, barely moving at all, to very rough. I don't usually use it that rough, but it pushes as far as I push is the point. So I can press it on spots that are tight, joints that don't want to move without some sort of trauma, and we can use this to do the least trauma possible. So I'm finding these little joints that connect ribs to spine, which is where she gets pretty tight. I think it's a stress thing, Judy. And then I'll run along the top of her shoulder blade. And I'll even get along the collarbone. And this is not the more important shoulder today. Let's get to the important one. This one is terribly tight. So I press against it. It makes that little woodpecker noise or jackhammer noise, depending on what I'm working on, right? If it's concrete, it's a jackhammer. And we'll press against it until I get some movement, some life, some motion, and a little bit of that muscle relaxation that I like to see. That's a secondary effect, though, because the joints are what's controlling that in this case. All right, and actually we'll lift this arm up. We'll bring it like so. This shoulder needs a little extra work. And we can't forget, I'm going to swing around. We'll take off. Which ankle is it, Judy? Remind me.
The worst one? This one.
Yeah, do we work on both of them, though, for you, don't
Yes.
we? Yeah, that's fine. We'll get... So here, I know, we got this long cord going around. All right, I start with working the different joints just along the way that they need to move. There's, I would say, 4 major bones I care about, but I do get all the metatarsals and all these important bones. When I'm grinding that one, it has a good feel today. If I feel that ripping and tearing, sometimes I do tear scar tissue, and that can be sore. That can be quite sore. But that's okay. We don't want that scar tissue to be in the way of your foot's normal motion. So I'll use this gun on it too. I'm hitting the talus. That kind of holds the ankle together. And then I'll just adjust this gently. But it doesn't really need it that much today. Because that right underneath the talus and the heel bone, that's where you get a lot of the motion and a lot of the pain on these more dysfunctional heels. Mm-hmm. Now real quickly, I'll get this other heel. This is the more important one for you today, right? This one's doing badly. Yeah, sorry. We don't want to lose it. The heel's not that bad though, so that's good. That's good. And then we won't forget this end. Let me get, because you see a little bit more swelling over here too. You've really been using these heels today. Mm-hmm. Or this past couple weeks.
I've been on my feet a lot today.
Yeah. All right.
That's what happens.
All right. And this is our ankle protocol for Judy. This is the magic. We'll have her skipping out of here. We're almost out of time today, though, so thank you for coming on the show, Judy.
Oh, no.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for letting us show what we do for your ankles on TV. It's kind of a unique experience for this show. We haven't gotten to show this wonderful gun enough, the ArthroStim. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Join us next time for the next show. Have a good one. Take care.